To the Next Generation Partnership Series here with the Indiana Black Expo. We're proud to have and I'll say it this way, she is the president and CEO of Indiana Black Expo, Inc., but she is also our board president of Next Generation High School. Tanya, welcome to Indianapolis. I won't tell where you are. I'll just leave
Thanks for having me, Dr. Brown.
But at the same time, Kelly Marshall, who happens to be the principal, who is the one that carries the heavy load, and the next person who helps her carry the heavy load is the senior director, Miss Sean Hart. I got it right this time.
Hello, Dr. Brown. Hello.
Hey, okay, let's get this show to going. This is a great opportunity. What is GO Next Generation all about since we've got the president of the board?
Absolutely. So first of all, Dr. Brown, thank you and welcome back to our listeners. I am Kelly Marshall, the proud principal of GO Next Generation High School. Again, we are opening our doors this fall to grades 9, 10, and 11. The unique qualities about GO Next Generation that we continuously talk about are the opportunities to provide college credit and experience to our scholars as young as that 9th grade year. And GO is a firm believer that putting those opportunities in front of students early on will just help project them in the trajectory of academic success. I am super excited and super appreciative to have our board president, President Tanya McKinzie, on with us. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Kelly. I appreciate, I'm glad to be here.
Everybody got quiet all of a sudden. Tanya, do you mind me just saying Tanya, because you have the same name?
Absolutely.
Same name as my daughter, Tanya. Tanya, what are the categories that are you going to really focus on in regard to the next generation whole curriculum? I understand it's about performing arts. Kind of explain that and lay that out for us.
Well, with respect to the curriculum, I will defer to Kelly to kind of get into specifics regarding the curriculum. But what I would like to kind of share with the audience is just really, what attracted me to the model. I had an opportunity a year ago to visit 21C in Gary. And at that time with Emil Ekior, I was there for our statewide conference that we had in Gary and visited the school and was blown away. Just, with all of the youth that were in the building and just how excited they were and how committed, even the culture, you can tell the culture of the school, the fact that they were transported to the university and back forth and back to the school. And so really the primary sort of focus was for them to have that experience on the campus of that university, not necessarily bringing someone into the school. And so I got an opportunity to talk to the young individuals, and they kind of shared with me the credits that they had already accumulated, and many of them were graduating with an associate's degree. That, with everything that we are trying to accomplish here in Indianapolis, particularly with respect to just the affordability of college. And, right now, even with this pandemic really exasperating the whole affordability issue for parents, I just felt like this model was something that was needed here in Indianapolis.
Kelly?
Well, I'm just appreciative that she was, appreciative and excited and intrigued by the model in Gary. I know in Indianapolis, there's definitely a need. The unique approach that GO takes toward that dual credit opportunity is one like no other. I've been in environments and I've reaped the benefits of students receiving access to college credit, but when you can offer it early on, and President McKinzie spoke to this, it allows students that jump start, and then it saves them money in the long run. We're providing these opportunities for students to get these college credits at no cost to the family. And so when they have an opportunity to earn those credits and then transition on either into a career certification or to a college 4-year accredited university, that still cuts down on the amount of additional training that they'll need before they move out into that, into adulthood. And so just having the opportunity here in Indianapolis to offer that opportunity to students that are often, neglected or denied, that type of access, it just makes me excited. So I'm appreciative, once again, for just someone having that passion and sharing that commitment to the students of Indianapolis.
I think Dr. Brown, for us, at the time we were working on our Performing Arts Academy. And then when I got to had the opportunity to see that model in Gary, I looked back and said, whoa, I thought we were doing some things, but it gave me chill bumps. I was, very excited to see that and was committed to make sure that I worked with Geo in my role as the president of IBE to bring that model to Indianapolis. And I think what even strengthens that is we have some powerful, dynamic women, the principal, and I know Kelly wears multiple hats, but being able to have a school leader that has that background that she has, and to have Shan Hart on the team is, I'm excited to be able to kind of work with them to make sure that this is a success for Indianapolis.
Sean Hart, you will be, if people are listening, if they're interested, how do they contact us on this new fancy system called Zoom?
Dr. Brown, you are the man. For those of you who may be just joining us, all of our listeners and viewers, feel free to give us a call at 317-608-6222 or visit our website at geonextgenhsindy.org. You must have been reading my mind.
You said 317-608-6222. But you got a zero.
Zero.
Okay.
That is the number. You may also write in your questions right here on the chat line of Facebook. Feel free to write in any questions you might have as we continue our conversation. Ms. Marshall, how about sharing with our viewers a little bit about Geo Next Generation's model, high school model?
Absolutely. So I think I spoke early on about just offering students the opportunity to obtain their core 40 while also pursuing that dual credit approach as early as their 9th grade year. We're opening our doors to grades 9, 10, and 11. I've been online with parents and students recently, and they still want to make sure that it's the same high school experience that you would get anywhere else. So I'm excited to learn more about IBE's Performing Arts Academy so that we can, just share with our listeners the opportunity that students could have to explore that side of their artistic side, and just to, complement the academics as well. So again, at Geo Next Generation, they will be fulfilling that core 40. But in addition to that, we consider ourselves a launching pad, not a destination. So we're launching you into that college experience, but through the partnerships that we've established, such as IBE, we can also afford students an opportunity to take advantage of an amazing program. So Tanya, if you could just share with the listeners more about the Performing Arts Academy.
Yeah. So we developed the Performing Arts Academy about 18 months ago, really for the purpose of trying to use a non-traditional way to engage students. And one of the things that we wanted to do is really reach down into youth culture. And part of our youth culture is performing arts. Students, they love music, they love to dance, they love the videography and making their own films and YouTube and all of those different things right now, and photography, as well as acting. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to come alongside families and students to provide these this training and these classes with top-notch instructors for free. But the purpose of this is not just to develop the students in the arts. It's also to make sure that we're providing the necessary wraparound supports in order for them to be academically successful. And so whatever that is, so, through making sure that they're prepared for their SATs and their ACTs, and making sure that, they have all their credits. And so just making sure that those academic outcomes are there as well. So working directly with those families to just love on those students and make sure that they're part of the IBE family, which is the reason why we moved to the east side of Indianapolis, in order for us to have this building there that's available for the community as a community hub for those students to come in and really partake in the state-of-the-art equipment and studios that we offer at that site.
I'm going to echo that, Dr. Brown. I just want to just shout out. I had an opportunity during the 50th celebration, 50th year celebration, to actually watch students in action. And it was amazing to me to see radio personality, Tony Lamont actually coaching and mentoring these students through the broadcasting and the photography. It was amazing. And the facility, parents and listeners, this is not your typical after school program. The equipment and the surroundings that the students are exposed to are extremely top notch. So I just wanted to shout that out as well.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Dr. Brown.
Tanya, one of the historical, contemporary things is you've brought in many kind of personalities who are in the field of the performing arts, all the different individuals. Are you going to interact those contacts that you've got? They're just not here in Indianapolis or Indiana. They're all over the world now, I think.
Yeah.
But
the one thing that we have done, and the one thing that we said that we were pivoting to do, is to make sure, we've done a great job with respect to building those relationships with entertainers across the country. And so one of the things that we did last year is when we had Teddy Riley here, he came in and did a master class with our students. And we've had several other master classes where we've taken advantage of the relationships and the dollars that we're spending to get those celebrities here. Another part of this is that the alumni that have graduated out of our Youth Media Institute, which is, has been incorporated into our Performing Arts Academy, are, they're, journalists and reporters, and, they participate on Entertainment Tonight. And so one of the things that we're working on this summer is to bring them back to talk to our students, whether it's virtual or not, with respect to just how they utilize this experience with IBE in order to shape their careers. And so we actually have an amazing director that we hired with, we tapped her outside of Illinois and, has done work in LA and across the country, Rain Wilson, who is directing that program. And so we're excited. We're going to grow it, and we're going to utilize this as an opportunity to deeply engage our youth.
Hey, Tanya, alongside Rain Wilson, your director for PAA, I know Jennifer Darby does a lot with the youth programming. Can we talk also a little bit about the Youth Leadership Summit for our viewers and listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. Jennifer Darby, who is our Vice President of Youth and Family Programs, as well as our development. I work alongside Jennifer very closely. There's not a day that goes by that we don't talk and we're not working on youth programs. And the one thing that she's working on with a team of folks is really the programming virtually that we will announce here soon, which includes, and what we've termed it as our IBX series. And if you actually kind of look at the logo when we announce it, you'll see the IB, but the X is for our young people. And so we will brand that program differently, because there will be tracks for middle and high school students, as well as young millennials and professionals. And so not only is she working on our Youth Leadership Summit that we've done for several years in partnership with Purdue University, that focuses on just STEM and different careers, but she's also working on our Real Talk Teen Forum, as well as various workshops that will center around just career. And right now during this pandemic, that's a real issue for our young people, particularly those who just graduated, is what are they doing to be prepared? Are those jobs going to be there for them? Some of that will be financial literacy. We'll get into tech, we'll get into arts and entertainment. There'll be some, fun things with respect to having some YouTubers involved on how do you create a business in this world. And so Jennifer is really working on those, think outside the box. Here are some of those non-traditional pathways for our youth to consider as we, continue to develop this programming for them throughout the 2020 calendar year.
Kelly, Tanya has put in a piece there, the STEM, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. But we have more than that now. You have STEAM, science, technology, I gotta make sure I'm spelling right, engineering, arts,
There we
and
go.
math. So what you got is STEM. If you drop the S off, you got, never mind, team. But I'm just messing with you. But the arts is very important, isn't it, Tanya and Kelly and Sister Hart? Isn't that very important? Because in that part of our DNA,
Absolutely.
the energy, and all of the other schools have gotten rid of that.
Absolutely. It's with the greater emphasis on standardized assessments and I would say just state accountability, you'll find that a lot of school districts are pushing the academics. And again, I applaud and I support that. But unless you're attending to the whole child and the natural gifts that they bring to the table, then you're not going to get the best out of them. And so again, the partnerships that we have at GEO have been very intentional. I always like to refer to it as like-minded. If you listen to Tanya speak, she's passionate about the youth. She's passionate about the programming that extends beyond that of IBE. And so it's that type of shared compassion and commitment to the city of Indianapolis is what I find intriguing, and what I want to make sure that I continue to monopolize on that partnership and those like it for our students.
I've got to throw a hard ball to all three of you.
I knew it was coming. There we go.
And really, because you've covered everything, and all of you all are business ladies. Let me preface, you all ladies who take care of business. No business runs without money, money. Now, these young people that you're training, and particularly when they go into the performing arts, they almost become entrepreneurs themselves, don't they, Tanya?
Yes, they do.
And consequently, they are kind of selling their talent and skills. Are you going to build into that program as the board president, and Kelly and Ms. Hart? Are y'all going to build in an economic component of how to be and do business and not be controlled and taken over by the powers to be? Y'all get where I'm coming from?
Absolutely. And if I can speak to that, there is a business component of the Performing Arts Academy. A lot of people, and we talked about those 5 areas of training, they think that if, you got to be an actor or you have to be the filmmaker, but there's so many, there's a variety of jobs and opportunities that come with filmmaking and that come in, with the performing arts that a lot of people don't talk about. And so there will be, there's definitely a business component as it relates to that. Also, even outside of just the performing arts, with what Jennifer Darby is working on now is that career and sort of business component, even over the summer through our IBX series. And what does that look like? And how do you prepare and plan? I have 2 children. I have a 24-year-old and I have a 16-year-old. And the 16-year-old plans to be a student at GEO Next Generation in the fall. I believe in the model. I'm going to take advantage of the model. But she is an arts person. She is not your traditional pathway. My son graduated in 4 years with a business management major from Indiana State University, but he is not, he's an entrepreneur at heart. So he's opened up his own business. He's in LA right now. And so, focusing on the different pathways. And one of the things that I like about GEO Next Generation is that it's not just about that 4-year degree. We're focusing on other pathways. What, if it's a credential or certificate or those things, where does that get you? And I think it's our job, particularly with respect to IBE and with respect to GEO Next Generation Academy, is to make sure that we lay out and we educate them on how do you, transition through that pipeline so that you are planning and making sure that you're doing those things in order to maximize your potential, whether or not it's from entrepreneurship or if you go and work for a company and build your resume that way. And so I think that's the fun of this. I mean, it's an opportunity to really work with our students. This is our gift to make sure that they are educated on all of the different pathways that exist.
Well said, Tanya. this takes us right into our first listener parent question. And this question is for Ms. Tanya McKinzie. How can my student qualify to attend the PAA program?
And I don't know, Kelly, do you want to take that, or do you want, the PAA program? I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, right now it's middle and high school students. It is a free program. And so we're not turning anyone away. I mean, it's an opportunity for us to engage the youth, to get them involved, for them to find their gift. If they don't know what that gift is, for us to help them stir it up within themselves. And so I know that we just ended our previous cohort, and that we will now be enrolling for the fall. And so if they go to our website, there should be information up at indianablackexpo.com for that program. Or if they call 317-925-2702 and ask for Rain Wilson or Edward Rogers, they can point them in the right direction to get their child signed up.
Repeat that phone number again, Tanya.
317-925-2702.
Okay.
Again, for those of you who may be just joining us, feel free to give us a call at 317-608-6220, or you may visit the Geo Next Generation High School website at geonextgenhsindy.org. We have another question. We're getting on a roll here now. Does the PA program help connect my students to colleges or universities if they are interested in continuing or after high school?
So the PAA program doesn't do that, but the Geo Next Generation High School does. So again, you know, the one thing that I want to focus on, you know, our program is easy. You know, it's not even just the PAA program. We have programming throughout the summer. We have college fairs. We work with universities. We put on one of the largest education conferences in the state of Indiana, where we work alongside educators to make sure that they are effectively teaching our kids of color the way they should be. And so, you know, you can call that same number and we'll put you into contact with any of those programs to make sure that they have that exposure that is needed. But, you know, the one thing I want to stress right now is this model with Geo Next Generation Academy. And I want to speak to parents as a parent. You know, right now, I have a 529 for my daughter. But again, if you look at this pandemic, I don't know when the last time you guys might have looked. I haven't even looked at my retirement accounts or anything like that because I'm scared to. And so, but for a lot of us who may not have been able to save the way we should have, this is a huge opportunity. And I just want to make sure that parents really take advantage of this model. This is a very non-traditional model where your child is able to go to high school while attending college, which means even if they graduate and they get an associate's degree, that's 2 years you don't have to pay for if they are matriculating or wanting to go on to a 4-year college. If they don't want to go on to a 4-year college and they're satisfied with a 2-year degree. Or there are students who have literally earned a bachelor's degree while attending 21C and Gary and this model across the country. So I just want to make sure that I am stressing, because with all the programs that IB is putting on, none of them have the potential to eradicate generational poverty to this extent, like what is being offered through Geo Next Generation Academy. And so I'm here to stress that because I feel like it's my job to make sure that our community takes advantage of this opportunity.
Now,
And
Kelly,
we certainly agree and appreciate that. Ms. Marshall, will you speak more to then Next Generation's program as it relates to that?
So if I understood the parent's question, while a child is enrolled into any education institution, you want to make sure as a parent that you are, I'm not going to say padding their profile, but you're showing the opportunities that they had taken advantage of to show a balance of both the academics and anything additional, right? And so for those students that take advantage of programming such as the Performing Arts Academy or sports, or even sometimes just holding down a job, what college recruiters are looking for is the student's ability to provide that balance. We're going into a very different world, and I'm hearing from universities all around that they're giving students the option of either staying at home and completing their coursework online, or actually taking that step if once the governor releases to go back onto those college campuses. So it's going to be even more difficult for students to show that well-rounded approach, in order to look more favorable to a college recruiter, right? And so when students have an opportunity to take advantage of things that are just, I would say, free to you at no cost to build up your profile, you want to make sure, parents, that you're taking advantage of that. Tanya spoke to just the, obtaining those college credits and getting them under your belt as you go off into the college campus. If you're taking advantage of the opportunities that Geo Next Generation has for you, your student is taking a lot of those remedial courses, which then shortens their time in college. Research shows the longer that a student spends in college, the less likely they're going to graduate, because they go in, they were somewhat high performing students in their high school, but they didn't have any college experience. So they get onto that college campus, and then they have to take remedial courses. Then that lengthens the time. Then that increases the amount of dollars that they're spending. And then what inevitably happens, the scholar then tends to drop out. So the opportunities are existing that are presented to Next Gen. Again, we are near and true to us. It's a proven model. We have 49 seniors that we just graduated. And of those 49 seniors, 90% of them have some college courses under their belt. We have 5 students, from just this class that have obtained an associate's degree and 2 to 3+ years of college underneath them. Tanya spoke to the student that already obtained, that had gone through GEO and obtained her bachelor's. We have another student following in that same path. This student that is currently enrolled in GEO Next Generation, she's a junior. If she so chooses, which she doesn't, to stop school right now and pursue a career, she could, because she's already, gotten that career certification, but she's continuing on, taking advantage of the opportunities that are there. And when she steps out of that college, just like or high school, just like any of our other students, the colleges, the businesses are going to definitely want to take a second look at them.
So talking about career, we've been talking about college.
What I was going to say to add to that, and it was free for her parents.
Free
Correct?
at no cost.
I just want to make sure.
That's the best part of it all.
Well, and I'm going to speak in terms of being a parent. I'm a parent of a child who went through a dual credit program, very, very well prepared. She came out in 3 years, but she definitely didn't get an associate's degree. And I'm kicking myself the whole time, because she got accepted into universities, but I just think about the opportunities that could have been presented to her had she had that additional certification. It's just like we want to build our resume, parents and students, you want to start building your portfolio as soon as possible.
So that's what I'm saying. Along those lines, Ms. Marshall, we've just been talking about the college readiness piece. We didn't touch on that career readiness, because let's talk a little bit about the certifications, those certificates our scholars can leave with if they're not interested in pursuing the college rank.
Absolutely. We know that every student is not pursuing to attend a 4-year accredited university. The opportunity that Geo Next Generation puts in front of students is also the opportunity to pursue a career or technical certification. So if a student is interested in culinary arts, if a student is interested in welding, if a student is interested in going into like the nurse practitioner, the health field, things like that, those opportunities exist. As an educator, I'm going to always say this though, In the event that your student is not pursuing a college, I would say going toward a pathway of a 4-year accredited university, it doesn't mean that they shouldn't have the skills to do so. It should be that that's their choice, because we don't want to pigeonhole students into one way of thinking. When they come into next generation, we want to find out their interests, we want to find out their passion, and we want to provide them with an opportunity to say, these are your choices. These are the choices that are not readily accessible to you unless you are coming through our supports.
To follow up on Sister Hart's question, you all have covered everything well. Tanya, we're glad to have you being the president of the board. Now, here's the tough question to all three of you all. You all have laid it out good. In this process, do those young people who are in the program, in GEO, next generation, is it just possible that even while they are learning, they're getting some own hand experience and making a little money at the same time?
Absolutely, they are. That's why we're going to be offering one-on-one mentoring. We're going to have a mentoring program for our scholars, as well as an internship program. So those internships will be paid and unpaid. So they will most definitely, as well as some job shadowing. So they're going to get all kinds of on-the-job training and experience in preparing them for both career and college readiness.
And one of the things that Indiana Black Expo has committed to do as a partner is to help with the internship and the work experience program and component of that. We have a lot of corporate partners that we work with, and this is very, very important that they get those experiences so that they can add those to their resume in order to increase their earning potential and the opportunity to come out of college and land a really good job. And so that's something that it's a strength of ours just based on our relationships. And that's something that we are planning to bring to the table to help GEO with respect to that internship program.
All right. As a saying going, it's not about the money, but it is the money when you finish school, I'll tell you, and get in the program. I'm understanding we're down to the final second, Ms. Hart. Where are we on this?
Yeah, we have about 2 minutes to wrap up. We've been having so much fun. That time just flew past.
It did.
It did, but you done a fabulous job. And Tanya, you enjoy where you are for the minute because you got to come back and be real busy.
I'm busy now. So
I was about to say she's busy now.
Listen, our board president's online at all times. So I'm gonna tell you, yeah, she is working.
All righty. Well, Kelly.
She works through the midnight hours and the 2 a.m., 4 a.m. when we're resting.
Well, as my dad used to say, and may the Lord take a liking unto you in that great effort there. Well, Kelly, what somebody needs to contact? People may a number, Sean, and a number, and who do they ask for?
Absolutely. We are GEO Next Generation High School that will be co-locating with Circle City Prep on the Far East Side at 4002 North Franklin Road. We are enrolling this fall to grades 9, 10, and 11. Those of you interested in enrolling your student, please contact us at 317-608-6220 or via our website at geonextgenhsnd.org, right there on our background.
All right.
We only have a few more seats remaining, so get those scholars enrolled. We're happy to answer any additional questions you might have. I'm going to take this opportunity to personally thank Ms. Tanya McKinzie one more time for taking time out of her busy and hectic schedule. And Dr. Brown, I know you're going to close out on us.
Oh, I'm going to be nice because you all have been nice and have been excellent. You know, normally I'll say I'm going to do something the devil won't do for you. And you'll always say what? I'll say I'll leave you alone.
Again, thank you all for joining us. Ms. Marshall, do you have any other additional closing remarks?
Again, I want to thank President McKinzie, not just for her commitment and passion for the students in the city of Indianapolis, but just her genuine interest in GEO Next Generation and GEO in general. And I thank you for seeing that vision and sharing that vision. And I look forward to working with you.
Me too. Thank you.
And Tanya, I'm going to leave you something real nice. Remain actively calm, and calmly active.
Got it.
Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Enjoy your day. Feel free to reach out to us. We are filling up
Stay
and
safe.
roll down. Have a great day, you guys. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay.